In an old, remote cabin outside the city, there were scary stories about strange sounds in the basement. The cabin belonged to a family who mysteriously disappeared many years ago. After that, no one dared to go near it until a group of friends decided to go there one weekend and discover its secrets. If you like fear, excitement, and scary stories, please subscribe and like. The group consisted of 4 people: Michael, Sarah, Jake, and Anna. They brought with them the necessary computer equipment and video cameras to spend the night in the cabin and film the scary events. When they arrived at the cabin, a dark and mysterious atmosphere surrounded them. The door of the cabin slowly opened and a creaking sound was heard. Inside the cabin, everything was covered in dust and darkness. The walls were decorated with old, worn-out pictures. After a little exploration, they noticed a hallway at the end of the corridor that led to the basement. Strange moans could be heard from there. Michael said bravely, "Let's go down and see what's going on." Sarah was a little worried and said, "Maybe we shouldn't go there," but the others ignored him and decided to go down. When they reached the basement, it was pitch black. They turned on their flashlights and looked around. The walls were cold and the sounds and howls could be heard clearly. Jake said, "Do you hear those howls? It's like someone's here." Meanwhile, Anna went to a corner of the basement and noticed that there was a small door that led to a secret room. She opened the door and went inside. In that room, there was an old, worn-out doll that was looking at them strangely. But what scared Anna was a wooden box in the middle of the room. Anna opened the box and a loud scream came out. All her friends ran towards her, and at that moment, the sound of moans and howls increased dramatically. They realized that the sounds were not coming from the basement, but from inside the hut. Sarah quickly ran to the stairs and shouted, "We have to go." But when they went up to the door, they realized that the door was closed and they could not get out. They looked at each other in the darkness and panic, and realized that they had to find a way to escape. Shadows appeared in the corners of the basement. The shadows slowly approached them, and the sounds of moaning and screaming increased dramatically. Michael shouted in fear, "We have to go and look for an escape," and they all ran towards the walls. But every time they got closer to the wall, the sounds fell sharply and they felt like they were being surrounded. Finally, Anna saw a small window at the top of the wall and said, "You have to get out of here." They tried with all their might to reach the window. Meanwhile, the shadow got closer to them and its moans turned into screams. At the last moment, they managed to reach the window and one of them got out. When they got outside, they quickly left the hut and ran towards the forest. They ran through the dark forest towards the city and never returned to the hut. From that night onwards, no one approached the hut, and its scary sounds continued to linger in the forest.